everyone, Teemo
and Travi here. So it seems Valve is uncertain how to make TF2 into a competitive and fun game. So we are here to give our suggestions for what we think would help the game in the long run to please most people when it comes to this.
And as we all know, community is divided into many subsections. This is not a huge issue for most different communities as they learn how to live together in peace. But it's completely the opposite in TF2 community, with competitive and casual hating each other, competitive dividing into two sections of 60s and Highlander hating each other, and then we have MVM and SFM community, confused on when they are gonna receive any updates. We will be covering and giving our opinions on each section one by one, starting off with casual.
Well, I personally think casual is still too competitive thanks to its aggressive nature on the main screen telling you how you did. I think this should be something reserved for comp itself. Ever since Meet Your Match, not only do I see people actively tell me they either left the game or dropped their silly nature because they feel pressured to play seriously. While for people that want to play seriously themselves, that may be a good thing, but to me TF2 has always been this non-serious fun shooter, and not just another competitive shooter, which it tries to be with Meet Your Match.
And this brings us to the general issue in competitive matchmaking, as there are two types of people that you will meet there. People who have absolutely no clue what they are doing, or a stacked sandbagging team from UHC or ETF2L. In either games, you will crush them or get crushed, which is not fun at all. Main reason behind this is Valve doesn't exactly offer enough stepping stones, in which we have casual and competitive, and also a dead game mode of training. No one really cares about it. One of my personal suggestions to fix that will be a proper training mode for both casual and competitive, explaining classes' general roles, how to play the game, and metagames for each and every class, and a quick play mode where people can just hop in to play a game or two like the old TF2 before Meet Your Match, followed by casual mode itself where people can play it a little more serious for objective rather than fool around, followed by a ranked practice mode where people can train competitive, which will be locked for high-level ranked players, and a ranked mode where we can actually see the real competition between the veterans. Only problem I see with this would be the player base being relatively small to support all of this, but with a properly placed game, there will be tons of new players, and for proper team composition, we really could use something similar to TF2 Center where we can pick classes before the game, making it all around far more fun for all players and more competitive. And over time, we could even push Highlander in there.
So Man vs. Machine hasn't got an update in 4 years this November. I'm uncertain why this is, but it's probably because MVM was kind of a side project for variety's sakes. This doesn't excuse though that you pull people in this rewarding horde mode from different grades of loot and then just stop. So I would suggest making some upgrades as a side patch or a small update to make the meta a little more flexible. Because Man vs. Machine has this aggressive meta where anyone that goes Spy or Sniper will get auto-kicked by the nearest 52 or plus player. I'm thinking about simple extra upgrades. Maybe make the Spy Sapper automatically have the wide range for sapping a big group of medics so you could just backstab them. Therefore, he can easily replace the Demo Man. Without having to buy that upgrade, you can focus on more backstab-oriented upgrades. As an example, armor penetration. But you're gonna have to make this slightly more expensive, with the attack speed maybe. As for Sniper, he simply doesn't have enough wide range of jobs he can take off of others. I suggest making a weak spot on the tank where the Sniper can snipe into for some massive damage when fully charged. Add full crits to the backscatter for scouts so he can make some med picks. I can honestly keep going with this, but you get the point. Not enough unique ways of upgrading weapons, making it more open for people to have a fun and be useful at the same time. As for content wise, I suggest we start an update where people can contribute their suggestions to add to MVM, like maps, new robots, upgrades, maybe weapons specifically for MVM. But we especially need extra maps and Australians, because it has been almost 4 years since Two Cities came out. We need this update.
And outside of this, there are still tons of improvements TF2 could make. Considering how many other games has taken inspiration from TF2, why don't we borrow some back? Give us down modes we can mess around with randomly. We have a working Saxon Hail mod, we have Time Stand, we have a randomizer. Many of the things that this community has made is simply ignored or gets a silent nod of approval. And lastly, TF2 Dev Team. We know we are small, we know you don't have enough people to work with the overwhelming amount of players, and that the code is old. We don't even know what you folks at Valve headquarters are doing at all. We never hear anything from you besides of some text posts on your website and cryptic hints that you saw some content that's been made. Please interact with the community more. As much as we have a vocal minority that constantly hates anything that's been put out, there's a big silent majority that appreciates the things you do.
This has been Blabberjaco's Teemo and Travi. What do you think Valve should do? What points do you agree with or disagree with? Leave a comment, and until next time.
Bye bye.
Super sexy fan art. Meet your match. You all saw this one coming, didn't you? Well, let's dive into it. What did Meet Your Match do? It added some cosmetics, Disgaea promotional items, 4 taunts, keyless crates, pastime as a fully supported game mode, 4 new maps,